The Exodite finished this week after a really short run, and I've got very mixed feelings over the whole thing. First of all, apologies for the late video. I was on holiday somewhere that some people might consider very grim dark, Disneyland Paris. Personally, I absolutely love it. It's a bit of escapism, just like our hobby should be. Plus, A Small World was closed, so I don't have that going round my head. I don't have any particular insight into Warhammer Plus this week due to it being in a holding pattern while we wait for the content to increase, so I'll just get on with the reviews instead. This week's Warhammer Vault has 2 White Dwarfs, one of which is from back in 2010, and it's such a nostalgia trip. It's got upgrade bits for Knightly Order Knights, like the Knights Panther, the Knights of the Blazing Sun, Knights of the White Wolf, and I loved those models when they came out. It was really good to see them again. In the same month, the Fortress of Redemption was released, which was a fantastic model. I always wanted it, but I never wanted it quite enough so that I would buy it in front of other models. So I've not had it, and I think my chance is gone now. One other thing that was released in that month was a collector's edition of Ultramarines, which is the rickety old predecessor to Warhammer Plus. I was a bit harsh on Ultramarines a few times in the past few months, and I actually regret it. I've rewatched it, and it's better than I thought it was. It's better than I remembered. The voice acting, first of all, is absolutely fantastic. You've got Sean Pertwee, Terence Stamp, and John Hurt. I mean, that is a triple A cast if ever there was one. The animation isn't that bad. The only things that are pretty terrible are the facial animations. Other than that, it's a good story, albeit one that's probably about 20 minutes long and it's been stretched out to be about an hour. It's better than I remembered anyway. If you haven't already seen it, I'd recommend it. I'm surprised it's not in Warhammer Plus already because it would surely be an easy one, but maybe it's licensing and stuff like that that's stopping it. The book for this week is Imperial Armour 4, the Anphelion Project, and it has Tyranids Guard and Red Scorpion Space Marines. I've never considered Red Scorpions as a chapter I'd like to paint, and all it took to change that was seeing one image in this book. It was a Terminator in their colours, and it just looked fantastic. It is actually a contender now for me painting up a full chapter of them, but I say that about quite a lot of stuff, and I never really take that first step, but they did look fantastic. So as always with the Imperial Armour books, if you're looking for inspiration for your own armies, this is full of it. It was an AOS battle report this week, and it was Idoneth Deepkin v Fireslayers, and it was 2,000 points, matched play. So as always, it was a pretty decent battle report. Nick Baton took the Deepkin, and Ben went the Fireslayers. Typical good rolls, bad rolls, all that kind of stuff. Quite recently, I've been noticing AOS more and more, but I just can't take on another system. I've not got the capacity for it at the moment, and I don't know where I would go if I did take it on. So I'm just going to leave it for now. It is in the back of my head, boring into my brain, that this might be a good thing to start, but I don't know where I would start with it. It was a great watch as usual, so pretty standard really. So on to the conclusion of the Exodite, and it was a total mixed bag. I expected a lot longer. We got 35 minutes across 3 episodes, which is nowhere near long enough. You can't develop characters in that time, and to be honest, it didn't look like much of an attempt was made in that regard. Shazvray Lakoma was a really boring choice for the main character, in my opinion. And before you jump to conclusions, it's not because she's female, it's because all her lines were pretty boring and she didn't have much to do. You could have actually swapped her out for a basic fire warrior and come to the same conclusion at the end of the series. So nothing she did was special. She didn't go anywhere, she didn't add anything as a character. I would have preferred it if she was a total badass and really helped the story move forward, but she didn't. So pretty poor in my opinion. I had high hopes partway through episode 1 that the banter between the squad would be a big feature of this, but apart from one painful delivery about the killing blow, it really wasn't. The fragility of the Tau meant that the squad couldn't develop together, so I ended up not caring about any of them, even the Shazvray, and that's pretty sad. There were loads of positives to offset the stuff I didn't like though. Clancy Brown as the Eldar lent a lot of weight to the premium feel of the series, so I really loved his delivery in just about everything. The animation was absolutely stunning. There were tanks, titans, infantry, battle suits. The twist at the end really left me reeling. I did not expect to see what I saw. I'm trying not to spoil things here, but I really did enjoy the end of it. It looked very similar to the style of the Horus Heresy trailer, and I do wonder if some manpower was diverted from the Exodite to the trailer. That's just pure speculation on my part. I have no evidence for that other than they look very, very similar. I saw something that I've wanted to see since I've played epic scale 20 or 30 years ago, and that was Warlord Titans against Phantom Titans. And the manoeuvrability of the Phantom Titans was great. They weren't quite as graceful as I thought they might be. There was a bit in it that was just, oh, it was amazing. I loved it. It was honestly a highlight of the whole series for me. The twist at the end saved it. I really hope they expand on this and deliver something a bit more substantial, maybe with the running length of Angels of Death, along with the same amount of episodes. That would be brilliant. If they left the Tau out of it, I wouldn't be too sad. I think the Eldar are a much more exciting proposition. That might also be because I'm more of an Eldar fan than a Tau fan, so apologies to all the Tau fans out there. Overall, it was a feast for the eyes with some absolutely incredible 40k moments that I will watch over and over. I do have the nagging feeling that it was more like a game trailer or a tech demo, just because there wasn't any character development or not much character development. And the story was also quite short as well. I mean, 35 minutes isn't a good runtime for something like this to get invested in it, so I hope they do better next time. I am very disappointed that I didn't love this wholeheartedly, but I'm very happy it exists. I really hope it wasn't rushed to fill the gaps with Warhammer Plus to try to get on more of a tight schedule with releasing animations, and I think this would be more of the thing that once you've got a dozen animations under your belt, there's a lot to watch on Warhammer Plus, then you might release a wee mini-series like this, but as the flagship product at that particular time, I don't think it was enough to carry the whole thing on its back. So what did you all think of the Exodite? I'm sure there's a lot of people that absolutely loved it and totally disagree with me. Absolutely fine, I don't mind at all. I love hearing that people enjoy things that I don't, because it means it was worthwhile. Tell me in the comments below whether you think it was a hit or a miss. So that's it for this week. Once again, thanks for watching, happy hobbying, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.